Welcome back to Everything You Need to Know About Children's Picture Books, and today I want to show you how The Camel Who Took a Walk, a vintage book by Jack Tworkov, utilizes elements of several this then that categories. It's got meandering, it's got escalating, and it's got railroading. And those elements, combined with a beautiful, passed-down oral tradition narrative style, really makes The Camel Who Took a Walk an edge-of-your-seat, unique picture book experience. The forest was dark and very quiet. Not a creature was stirring. Even the wind had stopped breathing. Not a leaf was falling. Not a blade of grass was moving. And do you know why this was so? Because it was just the time between night and day, when the night was ending and day was about to begin. Night in the forest is very dark, and it creeps away slowly. At the time this story begins, it was still very dark in the forest. It was also very warm. All the creatures were very quiet, but the quietest of all was the tiger. The tiger was lying at the foot of a tree by the side of the road that divided the forest in half. It would have been very hard to see the tiger because he was hidden by leaves, flowers, vines, and grasses. He was hidden also by the darkness. Suddenly, the first glimmer of light trembled in the sky. The sky, the forest, and even the air began to turn blue. Just then, on the road that divided the forest in half, far, far up that road, right near the horizon, which is where the sky and the ground meet, something, yes, something, was moving. Now, the tiger might have been sleeping, but if you could have looked into his face, you would have seen that one eye, the eye facing the thing that was moving, was open just the tiniest crack. And when a tiger's eye is open the tiniest crack, then you know that the tiger is not sleeping, as he would have you believe. But he is watching and thinking. Now this thing that was moving and that the tiger was watching was drawing nearer and nearer. The sky was getting bluer and bluer. The light on the road had turned pink, so you could see that the thing was, you will be surprised, a very beautiful camel with soft brown eyes, and she was just taking her morning walk. She walked oh so slowly, so gracefully, with her head way up in the air. Her nose smelled the early morning sweetness, and her eyes took in all the blue and pink colors of the sky. And the tiger, who was lying at the foot of the tree, was thinking, as soon as this beautiful camel comes to where the shadow of the tree falls across the road, I am going to pounce on her. But the tiger was not the only one who saw the camel walking down the road. Way up in the tree, on a branch directly over the tiger, sat a little monkey. And he knew what the tiger was thinking about. And so he very quietly reached for a coconut and held it in his hands. And he said to himself, just as soon as the tiger is about to pounce on the camel, I will drop this coconut on his head. And all the while the beautiful camel walked gracefully down the road, turning her pretty head this way and that, while the sky got brighter and brighter. But the tiger and the monkey were not the only ones who saw the beautiful camel. On the same tree, a little squirrel with its bright little eyes had seen what was going on, and the little squirrel very quietly crept up right behind the monkey's tail, and the little squirrel said to himself, as soon as the monkey is ready to drop the coconut on the tiger's head, I will bite his tail. All the while the beautiful camel walked gracefully down the road, turning her pretty head this way and that, while the sky grew brighter and brighter. But the tiger, the monkey, and the squirrel were not the only ones who saw the beautiful camel. A little bird was watching what the tiger, the monkey, and the squirrel were up to, and the little bird said to himself, aha, I know what I shall do. As soon as the squirrel is ready to bite the monkey's tail, I shall pounce with my sharp claws upon his tiny head. And now the tiger was so excited, he forgot to keep his tail still. He swished it from side to side, this way and that. Meanwhile, the camel was getting nearer and nearer, and the sun was getting hotter and hotter, and the camel was getting warmer and warmer. And just as the camel had almost reached the shadow of the tree, and the tiger and the monkey and the others were all getting ready, the camel suddenly stopped and stretched her pretty neck way up in the sky, and she opened her mouth oh so wide, and she let out an awful yawn and said sweetly, in an ordinary sort of voice, "I think I'll go back." The tiger was so flabbergasted, which means he was so surprised, that just when he should have, he didn't pounce on the camel. And the monkey didn't drop his coconut. The squirrel didn't bite the monkey's tail, and the bird didn't pounce on the squirrel's head, and they didn't do all of these things all in the same instant. For just a tiny second, no one said anything, and not a sound was heard. Then the little bird burst into a peal of laughter that pierced the forest. The squirrel began to chatter, and the monkey began jumping up and down with such glee that all the creatures in the forest woke up crying, "What happened? What happened?" But you know what happened. Nothing happened. The beautiful camel just turned around and walked back the same way she had come. The tiger slinked away into the deep, dark forest, and the sun shone like brass in the sky.